What if I told you that one of the most dangerous places in your home isn't the steep staircase or the slippery bathtub, but the microwave sitting on your kitchen counter? I'm Sam Miller, and today we're going to pull back the curtain on a habit that almost everyone has but very few understand: the science of reheating leftovers. Specifically, we are going to look at how certain common foods, when put through a second round of high heat, can create a toxic environment for an organ that is absolutely vital to your longevity: your pancreas. Over the next 18 minutes, I'm going to guide you through 5 specific foods that you almost certainly have in your refrigerator right now. We're going to look at the chemical transformations that happen when you press that reheat button, and more importantly, I'm going to give you the Sam Miller protocol for handling food safely so you can protect your health without giving up the convenience you love. We live in a world of efficiency. We save money, we save time, and we try not to waste food. It feels like the right thing to do. But from a biochemical perspective, your body doesn't care about convenience. It cares about molecular integrity. When you take a meal that has already been cooked and cooled, and you blast it with electromagnetic waves or toss it back into a searing pan, you aren't just warming it up. You are triggering a second wave of chemical reactions. For some foods, this is harmless. For others, it's like creating a slow-acting poison that targets the silent worker behind your stomach. I call the pancreas the silent worker because it is one of the most humble organs in the human body. It doesn't throb like your heart when you're excited, and it doesn't growl like your stomach when you're hungry. It just sits there, tucked away, producing the essential enzymes you need to break down every bite you take and the insulin you need to manage your blood sugar. The problem is that the pancreas is also a very sensitive organ. It can handle a lot, but it doesn't send out many warning signals when it's under stress. By the time someone feels actual pain or notices a significant issue, the damage has often been accumulating for years. That is why prevention isn't just a good idea. It is the only real strategy we have for long-term pancreatic health. Let's start with the first major offender: reheated oils and fried foods. We've all been there. You have leftover French fries or crispy chicken from a restaurant. The next day, they're soggy, so you either microwave them, or even worse, throw them back into a pan with a little more oil to get that crunch back. This is a massive mistake. When vegetable oils like corn or sunflower oil are heated for the first time, they already begin to oxidize. But when you reheat them, that oxidation goes into overdrive. You are essentially creating a cocktail of aldehydes and free radicals. Think of free radicals like microscopic, high-speed debris flying through your bloodstream. They bounce off your cells, damaging the walls and even attacking your DNA. Your pancreas is incredibly vulnerable to this kind of oxidative stress. It's like pouring gritty sand into a high-performance engine. Eventually, the parts start to wear down. My Sam Miller rule is simple. If it was deep-fried once, never heat it up again. If you must have that crunch, use an air fryer with no added oil. But honestly, your pancreas would much rather you just eat it fresh the first time. The second food on our list is one that usually sits at the top of every health food list: leafy greens, specifically spinach and celery. Now, don't get me wrong, spinach is a nutritional powerhouse, but it's also very high in nitrates. In their natural state, nitrates are great for your circulation. However, when spinach is cooked and then left to cool slowly, naturally occurring bacteria start to convert those nitrates into nitrites. When you reheat that spinach the next day, those nitrites can transform into nitrosamines. Nitrosamines are classified by scientists as probable human carcinogens. They are genotoxic, meaning they have a specific talent for damaging your genetic code. Every time you force your body to process these compounds, you are putting an extra metabolic burden on your liver and your pancreas. My advice? Cook only what you're going to eat. If you have leftovers, don't reheat them. Eat that spinach cold in a salad or blend it into a smoothie. You get the nutrients without the chemical risk. Now let's talk about rice. This is a staple for billions of people, but reheated rice carries a hidden danger that most people are completely unaware of: a bacterium called Bacillus cereus. This isn't just about spoiled food. These bacteria produce spores that are like tiny survival capsules. They can survive the initial cooking process. If you leave a pot of rice sitting on the stove for hours, those spores wake up and start producing toxins. Here is the scary part. Those toxins are heat resistant. You can microwave that rice until it's steaming hot, and the bacteria will die, but the toxins will remain perfectly intact. This leads to what many people call 24-hour flu, but in reality it's an acute inflammatory attack on your digestive system. Because of what we call the gut-pancreas axis, any major inflammation in your intestines sends a shockwave to your pancreas. If you're doing this once a week, you're keeping your internal organs in a constant state of low-grade war. To do it the Sam Miller way, spread your rice out on a tray so it cools instantly, get it in the fridge within an hour, and never reheat it more than once. Next up is chicken. We love it for the protein, but it's notorious for uneven heating. Microwaves are famous for creating cold spots in dense meats. Those cold spots are like a 5-star hotel for bacteria like Salmonella. If those bacteria survive the reheating process because the center of the meat didn't get hot enough, you are inviting a violent immune response into your body. When your immune system goes to war with a bacterial infection, it doesn't just target the bacteria, it creates a fire of inflammation throughout your entire system. Your pancreas, which is already working hard to produce enzymes for that protein, gets caught in the crossfire. The stress of fighting off even a mild infection can contribute to long-term cellular fatigue. If you have leftover chicken, my top recommendation is to shred it and eat it cold in a wrap or a salad. It's safer, and it actually preserves the texture of the protein much better than a microwave ever could. Finally, we have the humble potato. Reheating potatoes is a double-edged sword. When a potato is cooked and then cooled, it develops something called resistant starch. This is actually a miracle for your gut health because it feeds your good bacteria and doesn't cause a massive blood sugar spike. But, and this is a big but, the moment you reheat that potato at high heat, you destroy that beneficial starch. What you're left with is a simple carbohydrate that hits your bloodstream like a freight train. Your blood sugar spikes and your pancreas has to panic pump a massive surge of insulin to bring it back down. If you do this regularly, you are essentially exhausting your pancreas. You're forcing it to work at 100% capacity over and over again, which can eventually lead to insulin resistance and metabolic stress. Plus, if you refry those potatoes, you're adding acrylamide to the mix, which is another compound we want to avoid for long-term health. The smartest way to eat a leftover potato? Make a potato salad. Keep that resistant starch intact and give your pancreas a much-needed break. As we look back at these 5 foods, oils, spinach, rice, chicken, and potatoes, the common theme is clear. It's not about one single meal making you sick. It's about the cumulative effect of inflammation, oxidative stress, and metabolic exhaustion. Your pancreas is a resilient organ, but it isn't invincible. It thrives on stability and clean fuel. When we consistently feed it oxidized fats, nitrosamines, bacterial toxins, and insulin spikes, we are slowly wearing down its ability to protect us. But I want you to feel empowered, not afraid. The goal of this information isn't to make you throw away your microwave. It's to make you a more conscious operator of your own biology. Prevention is built in the small, boring moments of our lives. It's built in the decision to cook a slightly smaller portion so there are no leftovers. It's built in the decision to eat your spinach cold rather than nuking it for 2 minutes. It's built in the choice to use an air fryer instead of a frying pan. These are the small victories that add up to a long, healthy, and independent life. Protect your silent worker. Maintain a healthy weight, keep your sugar intake low, and treat your food handling with the respect it deserves. Your body is a high-performance machine, and you are the head engineer. I'm Sam Miller. Thank you for spending these 18 minutes with me today. Take care of yourselves, stay curious about your health, and let's make longevity a daily habit. I'll see you in the next video.